shooting the Dixie Snub-Nosed 44 caliber percussion revolver. William Hovey Smith, 2014. I'm the author of Extreme Muzzleloading, and here we shoot an interesting variant of Colt's replica revolvers.
This is Hovey Smith, the Backyard Sportsman, and today we're going to be talking about large caliber, small revolvers. Okay, the two terms are somewhat contradictory. Now, this is an example of a modern, large caliber, small, quote, quote, revolver. And this is a 5-shot 44 Special Charter Arms pistol. Now, there have been historically muzzle-loading revolvers that attempted to reach these criteria. This is the Remington 1858. It has a 5.5-inch barrel. It is a holster pistol. You'd have to have an enormous pocket to put this thing in. But this is a comfortable carry revolver and a smaller size than the Army or Navy models, which had longer barrels. Yeah. And this is the Police 1862 by Colt, an open-topped revolver, 36 caliber, 5-shot, somewhat lighter and more portable, but still, yeah, basically a holster pistol. Pietta has introduced a Snubnose. Now, this cute little fella is now being cataloged by Dixie Gun Works. And it is a result of Pietta's putting a bird's head grip, which were found on Colt revolvers, but of a later model, the Thunderer to be exact, which was Colt's first double-action revolver, featured this kind of bird's head grip. It was never featured on a percussion revolver, but Pietta put it on the 1851 revolver frame and shortened the barrel. Boo! Yeah, they did. And omitted the loading lever. Now, loading levers have not always been a part of Colt pistols. For example, the Pattersons did not have attached loading levers. There were also various of the pocket Dragoons that did not. So the absence of a loading lever is not unknown to Colt pistols. Okay? We're also going to be using FFF black powder. We're going to be using .454 round balls as recommended. And for wads, I have been cutting styrofoam wads here with a 4570 case out of various sheets of styrofoam. Egg crate material works. This happens to be out of a produce box. And number 10 Remington caps. And we'll be shooting 2 different sizes of elongate bullets. This is Kato Ojama's 220 grain bullet, and we'll also be shooting a 240 grain bullet. As a practical handgun, how does this pistol do? Well, that's exactly what we're going to find out. And set it for 25 grains. See what happens. Okay, and we put in our wad as before. Roll it in there. My ball. Okay, that felt a little better to me. Okay, we'll use 25 grains for these initial tests. There's not much sense in loading this cylinder absolutely full of powder because this short barrel is just not going to burn it. Barrel length makes a difference in muzzle loading revolvers. Number 10s feel good. Yeah, they're going on well. So I would recommend number 10 percussion caps for this gun. Okay, those are firmly seated on the nipples. Turn the cylinder, half cocked, so to ease it on. Turn the barrel. Fit in the wedge. There we go. Cycle. Yeah. Yes. It seems to do just fine. And there we go. We're now ready to go out and shoot. On this first series of shots, I'm just trying for functionality. And we'll see if we can hit this tide box down there at 15 yards. The gun feels good in the grip. So, here we go. No fire. And the hammer is plucking the percussion cap, as you can see. Our initial shooting with the Colt Snubnose went not so well, or sort of okay, depending on your point of view. The sort of okay was that it actually put 5 out of 6 shots on our improvised target here. 1 just clipped the very top, 1 at the bottom, and 4 in between. And this was shooting at various points of aim. Now the first one that clipped the top here was aimed directly at the center of the bullseye. So consequently this gun is shooting, it looks to be about 6, 7 to 8 inches high at 15 yards. Not unusual for these Colt revolvers. The trigger pull was fine. The function was fine except for the caps. Always a problem with these guns. And so we're going to load her up again with the same load and use a different target, and maybe even try to get some chronograph data this time. This is going to be a series of 6 shots with round ball and 25 grains of 3FG, and I'm going to be trying for accuracy and actually aiming at the very bottom of the bullseye. If you do many adventurous things with black powder revolvers, sooner or later you're going to have this happen. There's too much powder in this chamber, and consequently when you loaded the bullet you could not seat it far enough to clear when the cylinder rotated in the gun. And the way you solve that is you don't try to pound this in with a hammer. What you do is you take a knife and you cut the lead until it is thin enough that it will clear when you chamber it back into the revolver. We found this out the hard way, of course many times, but most recently when we broke the spindle on our loading stand right here. Yeah, we did. I mean, that's grievously broke. And what should I do about it? Well, I could replace it with steel if I could find a steel shaft this way. Although the wooden shaft was strong enough had I put the correct amount of powder in the individual chamber. All right, so we're going to cut back our powder charge to 25 grains, and we're going to use the loading tool with the gun and see if we can load Kato Jama's bullet with that. Okay. 25 grains. Okay. Okay, that's pretty far down in the chamber. Our wad. Push our wad down. Okay. And we have our bullet. Seat it in the neck. It goes down. And we'll see if we can seat the bullet here. Nope. Okay. Let's see if we can do it with a loading stand. Yeah. Okay, now that went. Yes. With 25 grains it will load, although we did deform the bullet right here. Now this loading stand was designed for round balls, and it will load these conical bullets, but it doesn't really like them. First off, this is at a bit of an angle to the bullet, and so it seats it. Okay, that's pretty easy. Now you push. Okay, that's one, and again, and that seats it below the chamber. And you cut off your little rings of lead like you should. And yeah, that's below the chamber, so it works. But it's really a struggle for this stand. I'm going to have to refurbish mine and use it to load these slugs with. Now that we know something about how this gun shoots, we're going to try a rapid fire sequence with it and see how we can do with hitting a bullseye. How did that do? Well, at 15 yards we sort of tore up the bullseye, and every one of those shots would have hit a man from about here to here. Oh yeah, that would have worked. Well, how did the little Snubnose do? Well, it did pretty good, really. Matter of fact, it's all like it. And we did get our stand redone. And the pistol itself, once we did the ballistics on it, when you have a round ball load in here, we got 103 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. When we went up to the 220 grain bullet and 25 grains of triple FG, we got 139 foot-pounds. With a 240 grain bullet with 22 grains of double FG, we got 112 foot-pounds. And compared to the 44 Special with a 246 round nose, we got 628 feet per second compared to 400 and 500 for the percussion pistol and 215 foot-pounds. So you got nearly twice as much muzzle energy out of the 44 Special than you do out of the best loads in these guns. But for now, this is Hovey Smith reminding you to hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Be legal, be ethical, be safe. Goodbye, God bless, and see you next time.
Among my prize-winning books are Extreme Muzzleloading, Backyard Deer Hunting, Crossbow Hunting, and Practical Bow Fishing, available as softcover and e-books. I'll have an 8-book e-book series out for 2013-14, including muzzleloading guns for self-defense. Ways to prevent cap plucking with Colt revolvers is to apply some liquid well to the face of the hammer or a dab of heavy grease. Now, once the hammer was dirty, I didn't have any more problems, as you saw. For information on my books, blogs, and more than 325 videos, go to my website at www.hoveysmith.com. Good hunting and good eating from the outdoors. Goodbye and God bless.